Oh, I also formatted that weapon. In the end, I think last time I said that this weapon looked disappointing, and it felt disappointing compared to other weapons, but after the forma, it kind of became ridiculous and strong. I also checked some builds, and I noticed a lot of people use this mod, and I was wondering what exactly is the reason. Obviously you get multiplayer and status, but it doesn't make sense to have status on this weapon, and it looks like the answer is, and I haven't tested myself to see how I'm gonna take the word of that dude that mentioned it. And one video one dude mentioned that the whole reason is because this status chance helped with the swash stacks, I should say, swash procs to like stay for longer. Even though the difference I guess is minuscule. I think it's was it 25, 24. So I mean in overall it's increased like double, but in a bigger picture I guess it makes difference. I was lazy, I didn't want to test. I was like, okay, if people say it's good, then I guess I'm gonna use it. And I think some people also mentioned that this would make a difference, like using status chance governance mode, which I'm not sure why would that be like a huge difference again. Because you have viral mostly. I'm not sure if the impact stays as like multiple stacks or how often it procs, but it's mostly like one status, maybe two. And if you count the swash, it becomes maybe 3. And usually with those, I'm not sure if 3 is enough. Maybe it's good enough, just good enough to become powerful. So maybe this one instead of this one instead of the hammer shot will be also like a viable option from what I've heard. I haven't tested so far. This thing, like looking like this, is doing like pretty good work, I'd say. Actually pretty amazing work, pretty impressive work. And I haven't maxed out the galvanized chambers, Ration, Prime, cryo rounds, because that's like a rule of mine. Prime, Firestorm as well. A lot of mods not maxed out. I've never been a fan of getting them to rank 10, especially the one that have 10 ranks, because they limit kind of the usage in other weapons you would like to use it, or you'll be forced into forma-ed, and everyone you wanna use the mod, or obviously if you have 2 of those, it's okay, I guess. But maxing a rank 10 mod takes a lot of resources, like 2 million credits or something like that. And how much endo was it? 4k? Not 4k, 40k. Like an obscene amount of resources. But yeah, maybe one day, I'm gonna max out one series and then I'm gonna use it in one weapon. No, I do more than one, but yeah, it's not such a like huge difference. At least, even though after I format this weapon, I guess I figured out that Warframe is a little bit different now with those mods. Because my impression was that like I have like this tendency to somehow predict how a weapon will like perform after I see it with less of a full build or like a couple of mods. And I felt like even if I like put like those mods that other people were putting, it wouldn't start doing work. Maybe there was something that was bugging also. There was this one case I was like holding into steel path incursion, and this weapon was doing absolutely no damage to the enemy, to like an enemy. I was like, what's going on? Why is it so weak? But yeah, and this, I guess, setup works pretty good. I'm gonna show it up. And Gauss is the other like very important key piece to make this weapon extremely fun for me. Besides, it was fun even before I felt like it was like I felt weak, but now it's like doing pretty fucking good work. And the reason because of this is obviously with Gauss, if you know, redline, his ultimate increases attack speed, fire rate, reload speed, holster speed, even area damage. Good. So with the fire rate and the reload speed, this weapon becomes like quite monstrous. Plus, with his 2, you have a status immunity, which makes you like you don't get knocked down or stagger, which is fucking amazing. And like all the things you can like wish for a weapon with AoE that constantly gets you in the fucking butt. And on top of that, I'm not even using not with the Warframe, with the weapon. I'm not using an arcane. I haven't put an arcane weapon. So yeah, no primary merciless or any of the other 2 types. In this case, I think merciless is probably the one that you want here. If I remember correctly, the one that gets you more damage when you kill enemies. And it stacks 12 times. So even with that one, by the way, at maxed, if you have a maxed one, rank 5 primary merciless, at rank 5 you get reload speed and I think more ammunition, more magazine, yeah, more magazine or more ammunition. So even with that, I can imagine like how much more like powerful it can become or feel even than now. And what else? I think I mentioned everything. I think like you can use whatever you want. Like it's quite like enjoyable to have like Warframe experience where actually primary weapon is doing work. The build with Gauss is nothing specific or spectacular. I'll probably one day gonna make some kind of, I think I was doing this stupid made easy videos, so I'm probably gonna go over it. It's not something like unique or spectacular. I think I got some inspiration out of other videos I've seen. There's some other interesting builds you can try out. The range one is pretty funny with low level enemies, like around level 50 I think or 60. You can just go around, spam your tree and open relics and whatnot very fast. So yeah, but I guess I'm gonna go over those some other time. I think, what else do I use? I use Energize and Avenger. Which one was that? On damage critical chance, okay. I guess that's okay. So I guess I'm gonna show it off while I'm at it. I didn't intend to start like that the stream, but let's see, some like a decent mission that can like show it off. Exterminate or can, I guess that one can be fine. Capture a bit too fast. Okay, let's go with this one. I'm gonna go solo, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. I think I didn't change by accident some of the setups, but yet I changed my mind definitely on the Envoy. Like it maybe it's the Gauss factor with the attack speed, with the fire rate and the reload speed as well. Yeah, you poke this out and you just start shooting. You don't even have to aim, and it's just doing work. Also, I should be careful before I get. Let me start getting my. I forgot the name. I think it was battery. What? When did I turn off my? Did I press it by accident? If you don't know, Gauss at max now this meter at 100, he becomes immortal, and it also increases the reload speed. I mean, the higher it is, obviously. If you saw the stats line, it increases the reload speed, the fire rate as well, attack speed, the higher it is. So I'm at 200 and I should be... I shouldn't be taking like any damage, almost any damage. But yeah, look at one shot. The Tenet Envoy just might have become my favorite weapon. As I mentioned, I'm surprised how much it changed in terms of performance. Let me get my ult again up, back up. And you have to get the energy again to 100. It's when your ultimate, like CD, when the ultimate runs out of time, you have to redo it, obviously. Otherwise, it will be maybe a way to unbalance. My status immunity got down. Also, you basically have to keep up your 2 or your 4 at pretty much a decent duration, so they can go for long, so you can have time to get your meter to 100 and become invincible pretty much. If I remember correctly, only those annoying toxin status perfects effects can bypass that, if I remember correctly. Or like there is a slight moments where you can die. Gauss definitely can. You can die with Gauss without a question. And I'm gonna reach my 2 as well, so they can go like at the same time. So when they both run out, they have different times in duration. I can just pop them up back at the same time instead of different times. But this is the info. It's just it's I've been missing a weapon like that, especially if you can control the rockets when you aim, and they go a little bit slower when you use it like that. Where do I go? Up? Was it up? I'm a little bit confused here. I think this is where I have to go. Maybe there was an elevator or something, but this is Warframe. Who uses elevators? Beautiful explosions. Tick, 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 the slash. Hop, they run out. I should be careful. This is the moment where you're most vulnerable. And you can go like that, obviously, because big explosions, big area. Obviously those dudes are more like tougher because they are armored, so they take... I think if you hit they have maybe 2 shots, maybe even 1. I guess it depends. How many stacks do you have? And I can only imagine how much this weapon is gonna start shining. Let me get, because those dudes are scary. I can only imagine how much more power it gets from the arcane primary. Where did you go? Why are you hiding there? And there you go. They're obviously a little bit more tougher. How am I in terms of... And those annoying bubbles, you usually... You can use some weapons that break them very fast, or you can mid them outside, which reduces the range. Let me get again 200, or attempt to get... You obviously don't have to go like 200, even with like a little bit of energy, you're still pretty much like immortal. Because a big part of what makes Gauss is speed and movement. Very cool. Okay, and that was pretty phenomenal. This weapon is like just... I really hope they keep it like that. We need like weapons like this from time to time. Other weapons obviously that perform in similar way, like the Kuva or the Kuva Ogris. But I really like the Envoy a lot. Like the last couple of days I've been playing off stream, and I've been enjoying it quite a lot. Such a lovely weapon. Probably I would say it's like a must if you enjoy like big explosions. And as you've seen, it's not something spectacular in terms of like requirements. Obviously, even though I hate Forma and the way how it's implemented, I've used 3 on this one. I think people can go even less and go with some more like user-friendly build that doesn't have. After all, in the end, not everybody will have galvanized mods or clear the star chart, or maybe would need to take them. Actually, I'm not sure how because the galvanized mods came when after I was like already like past certain threshold in Warframe. I'm not quite sure how for a new player how tough are they to get them. But if you like don't have this one, obviously you use split chamber, a very common yellow mod. And sure, it will decrease the performance, but it's still gonna be amazing. Out of the other options, I guess this one is gonna be tough to get. And there is a regular version, but that one only have 25 or 24. And I'm not quite a fan of it. Actually, it doesn't feel like too much of a difference. As for the primed cryo rounds, you just the normal cryo rounds. It's gonna perform amazing. Like split chamber, normal cryo rounds, no prime firestorm, and instead prime firestorm you can use heavy caliber. That was the other candidate I was thinking, even more damage. In that actually that way it might perform a little bit better. But as I said, bigger explosion, more like enemies get hit, and I guess I like bigger explosions. I think the other options are, I think they're mostly like not hard to achieve. I don't quite remember where do you get this one. But with what else you can use instead of that one? I guess there is option. One thing is, as I mentioned, this weapon shines a lot with Gauss, but without Gauss you don't have the fire rate. So I guess this is like another option, or the let me see, what was the rank 9 Vile acceleration, but that one can be a little bit tough. Corrupted, I think it was corrupted mod. This is, I guess, something like we'll use, for example, instead of prime firestorm, if I've been using another Warframe, because fire rate is important. As for the reload speed, I don't think there's many other options. Let me see if there's any I forgot or forget. There's probably some kind of mod for reload speed, but I'm not quite sure if it's gonna be worth it. Because 4 seconds of reload time is painful, but maybe it will be worth it, especially with an arcane that also helps with the reload speed. Maybe in that case. But yeah, Gauss helps me a lot. Otherwise the reload speed is probably like 4 seconds is horrible with them. The rockets fly a lot shorter because of the fire rate. Or if you aim, they even fly even like slower. I think that's just implemented so you can control them before they explode a little bit. You have more like control over them. But yeah, I guess there ain't many other options. If this was possible to be put in the Exo slot, it was gonna be fucking awesome, but unfortunately, nope. They should make them Exos mods. All the reload speed. They shouldn't take up like a regular slot. It's kind of painful. Definitely one change I would love to see.